Would you look at here? Would you look at here?
Everybody, welcome into the Winners Lounge.
Let's go.
We are presented by Bet365. Never ordinary. Nuggets get the win tonight in Miami over the Heat. 100-88. This turned into a double-digit win for the Denver Nuggets, and we're here to break it all down for you. I'm Harrison Wynn. That's Brendan Vogt.
Man, big government. Big minutes in Miami. Great night at the bar. What a treat. What a treat.
It was a treat, man. Nice little Wednesday night on the eve of a snowstorm at the DNVR Bar.
I know, dude. It's always nice to get a win on the night before the world ends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go out on top.
There was a little bit of the vibe at the bar tonight. We're like, all right, this is probably the last night for the next couple that we're going to be able to leave our houses. So let's live it up while we can. That's Eric Weedham.
That's right. I even had I had green chili tonight. I was eating
You
as
were
though
living it up.
Samesies.
I was eating as though I was in a snowstorm. I was conserving my heat and not trying to say too much. Guys, I'm ready for it to all be over. I've been waiting for this for a long time.
That's Superstar Dev over there.
I remember them saying that this was going to be a really tight, close game. I remember that.
It was for a lot of it.
Was it?
Nuggets get the win, 100-88. And, after the game, I just popped on ESPN.com, went to NBA standings. Have you guys checked out the standings?
Why? What's different about
Have you
them?
checked out the standings?
Oh, new
Why? What's
standings
different
just
about
dropped.
them? Oh, let's go.
Nuggets are officially first place.
Standings
that
in
was
in the
bio.
Western Conference.
Standings in bio.
Stop the count.
Yeah, please stop the count.
Stop the
Please.
count.
Yo, I didn't think I'd ever see the day. I mean, I knew I would see the day.
Yeah, you predicted it.
Look at it right there. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
0.5 games up over the Thunder. Timberwolves and Thunder. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. So Nuggets get the win 100-88. Let's go over a fast recap of this one. My first note, slow start for the Nuggets. Bit of a slow start. They were down 4-0, a little sloppy, but then all of a sudden, up 16-9. Nuggets starters had a great opening run. Denver up 26-19 after the first quarter, but a bad bench stint from the bench in the first half tonight. Bad at the end of the first quarter, bad at the beginning of the second quarter. Peyton Watson, rough start to this game. Great finish, I thought. He missed a couple jumpers in that second quarter. Then there was a stretch of this game where Justin Holiday took 4 straight shots, I think.
That was rough.
4 straight jumpers, missed them all. Not a great bench stint, like I said. 50-44, the Nuggets were able to hold on to the lead at the half once the starters came back in. To begin the third, though, not a great stint from the starters. Just not a lot of juice. It felt like the Heat took the lead in this one. In the third quarter, they were up 56-55. Bam Adebayo was cooking. He was cooking for a bit here in the second half. In the middle of the third quarter, going right at Nikola Jokic, playing great defense on him as well. The Heat went up 3. And this was at the point in the game when the Nuggets could just not buy a three-pointer. That was the case for most of the night until the fourth quarter, it seems. Denver got some buckets to go late in the third. Aaron Gordon even got a corner 3 to fall. They got the lead back, 72-71. Then Christian Brown came alive. A 3 from Christian Brown, a tough finish in the paint, making plays all over the floor. Then Peyton Watson came flying down the lane for a dunk. Denver had a 5-point lead, it felt like, for most of the fourth quarter, trading baskets with the Heat. 1 basket here, 1 basket there. And then Reggie Jackson took over.
What?
Reggie Jackson, 2 big jumpers in the lane. Then a 3-pointer. All of a sudden, the Nuggets were up 10. Michael Porter hit a 3. And that was it. Nuggets win by double digits, 100-88. They win by 12. A rock fight, this game felt like for a while. And Denver holds Miami to 17 points in the fourth quarter. Wow, what a win. Vogt, big takeaway presented by
Red Hot Roofing.
Which,
I hope that you've got your roof in order since the snowpocalypse is about to come.
you better have called him.
You better have already called
them.
Red Hot Roofing.
Well, listen, fellas, my big takeaway. Michael Winner Jr. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about Reggie tonight, and with good reason. Just want to bring everyone's attention to the fact that the leading scorer in this game was MPJ, with 25 points on 9 of 16 shooting, 5 of 9 from 3. Only player on either team to even break 20 points in this game. And second straight time he's played well against Miami. And I bring that up because you sort of look at the boxes that Porter has yet to really check consistently in his career, playing against the very best teams, or at least playing against the most physical teams. I think this is 2 straight Miami games you could say looked like a playoff battle, physical, ready, guys were ready to go, and 2 straight times that Porter's played well in such a game. Combine that with his recent success, as a second option in nights when Murray couldn't go or had to exit early. I think we're seeing little bits of maturation here, little bits of evolution, and again, there's always going to be a ceiling on what that looks like as the third option in Denver, but it's looking more airtight, guys, and I think Porter's slowly checking off some of these boxes that were still there despite all of his success so far.
I think it's a great point. On a night when the Nuggets shot 11 of 33 as a team, 33% from 3, Michael Porter shoots 5 of 9. He had about half of the Nuggets' threes tonight. He was the Nuggets' leading scorer. Nikola Jokic had 12 points tonight. Jamal Murray had 14. MPJ with 25. I usually go to Dev for the first takeaway. I'm sorry about that.
I feel like
Everyone's thrown off.
This is school. I'm waiting to hear my name called.
Vogt, it's because Vogt was staring me down when I was doing the fast recap.
I was, dude. Yeah.
He was staring me down.
I was. I wanted the rock. That's
And
my
I was
bad.
like,
That's my
God,
bad.
am I going to look this guy off, or am I just going to give him the ball?
You should reject. Yeah,
Good outlet, man. Good outlet.
Reject the screen. You can go to Dev.
Superstar Dev.
Okay,
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
The Nuggets are 10-1 since the All-Star break. That's their 4th straight win against the Miami Heat. This team is in complete control, and the way that I know that they're in control, that wasn't an ugly win. That was more of a this team is not close to us type of win. And that's the team that was in the finals last year, a team that Denver was in control with last year. Michael Porter Jr. was the leading scorer in the game. Other people didn't even have to step up. Jamal Murray didn't even finish the game, down the stretch. That was a team that was in complete control for the entire time, and Denver's really good right now.
Real good.
Really good, man. I mean, this was a tough win. This was a tough game. It felt like a rock fight. It felt like a playoff game. That's how a lot of games against the Heat feel, especially those in Miami. And, Denver was tough enough to win.
Yeah, tonight felt like it just was just like a reprise of their finals matchup. It was a slow grinding. If you look at it's been pointed out already, but Michael Porter Jr. was, I would say he qualifies as eating, but nobody else really ate, but everybody kind of. It was like a potluck, right? We all just kind of showed up.
There was nasty food at the potluck.
Yeah, the food wasn't that great, right? It was like when I show up to a potluck and I just bring weed, like I do every time. But
yeah, I just bring plates and silverware.
Yeah, dude. I don't even attempt to bring food anymore because it's like a bag of chips or weed.
It's you don't want me to bring food.
No, you don't.
Me.
No, you want me to
I
bring
like when
weed.
you bring gummies, though. That's
I do. I bring weed every time.
Falls under the weed category.
Yeah, that is what that is. But it was a very balanced effort by the Denver Nuggets, and with one outlier. But it's usually when you're talking about the one guy that really led the team, it's a guy that was just on fire. It just felt like he was controlling things. Michael Porter Jr. just sort of was making shots for the most part. He didn't feel like he was taking over, but nobody was. But it didn't matter. They just met Miami where they're at. Played a physical game against a physical team and just squashed them. Slowly squashed them. The Nuggets are winning games in every different way that you can win games. They are showing that it doesn't matter, like, in boxing famously, like, styles make fights.
Yep.
But the Nuggets have every style that they can match you with. They can be a high scoring team. They can be a slow plodding team. They can be really whatever it is you want to do. They have a counter. And if the league is not on notice already, I mean, I kind of think that they are. I'm starting to hear a lot more about the Denver Nuggets than I was earlier in the season. They're in first place now. Like, I would not expect them to. Well, I mean, just because they're the Nuggets, they probably will slip back. But it seems like this is just like the point where we don't ever look back and we just go into the postseason and everybody fears us. Fear us.
I think it's a great point. I put on Twitter last night when I was watching the Milwaukee Bucks just melt down against.
Yes.
Who are they playing again? The Clippers?
No, that
Sacramento.
Was. Oh yeah, the Kings. And the Bucks were shooting like 20% from three or something, and it was just one of those games where, like, some teams, if they shoot it really bad from three, they just don't have a chance at winning.
Yep.
Some contenders are built that way. The Celtics, for one.
Yes, the Celtics, absolutely.
They're just probably not going to win.
The Golden State Warriors?
Yeah,
yes.
they're probably not going to win a game if they shoot really, really bad from three. Something I just love about the Nuggets is that they don't need to shoot well from three to win games. They don't need to shoot well from three to play well. And look, tonight, they shot 33% from three. They were in the 20s for most of this game. Miami shot terribly from three, too. The Heat are not a great offense. You don't need to shoot great from three to beat them, but this was another game where the Nuggets beat a quality team shooting it poorly from three. And I just love the fact that this is an old school team who just beats you up and plays their own way in the three-point era, when that's something that a lot of really good teams rely on. And I love the style that the Nuggets bring to a fight.
It's true.
I really do. But my big takeaway has to do with the bench. And, guys, I'm loving how the second unit looks right now.
Here, man.
I'm loving how this bench is playing as we're very deep into the stretch run of the NBA season. It feels, to your point, Eric, like it's all just coming together for this team right now. Like, the bench was the missing component all season, and it feels like now, more than any point so far this year, we really know what that bench is, and they're playing some of their best ball of the year. The three members of the second unit were in the positives tonight: Christian Brown, Reggie Jackson, and Peyton Watson. Not a coincidence that I think it's those three that are going to be playing really all the bench minutes in the playoffs. Zeke Naji was -2. He didn't play in the second half tonight. Justin Holiday was a -1. He really didn't make much of an impact. But I'm loving what the second unit is giving the Nuggets right now. It was a big reason why they were able to get the lead in the second half tonight. And specifically Reggie Jackson, man. I think this could be a big-time confidence-boosting game for Reggie Jackson. And he's needed it. So I think we'll see what happens. But if we look back on this game, in a couple weeks, it could be big for him.
And that last game, too, right? I think he was actually -7, which was the lowest on the team, but he had like 3 layups at the end of the third and the start of the fourth that were part of the comeback. And it looked like he got himself going a little bit tonight. It felt that way. To your larger point, just another night where you just run down the bench and you go positive impact, positive impact, positive impact. I think that's been the case maybe 90% of the time since the break, and it's been awesome, man. My trust in some version of the bench to contribute a little bit is a lot higher right now than it was 2 months ago. A lot higher.
A lot about basketball is about momentum and just having confidence. And Reggie had not been playing well and got called out by his coach, like, publicly. From there, he's kind of responded, and you just want to see a few baskets go in the game. A player whose game is predicated on scoring the basketball, you want to see the basket go into the hole. And that's starting to happen lately for Reggie, and you're starting to see him feel like there's a post there. Like, he's like, okay, I can get the second unit going. And I think that there was a lot of purpose with it. If you're noticing, Reggie's not playing alongside Jamal right now. Like, they actually made that aware change, and it's been working out, like, to the best of that second unit, getting him in spots where he can score, where he's not having to, divert to Jamal or just go those different ways. So you like to see that they are trying different ways to get him going, and he's starting to see some type of positivity. So I like the stretch that he's putting together right now.
Dude, it's all about confidence, and that trickles down through the entire bench. Christian Braun is playing like he's back somehow. Peyton Watson is. They can slide him into a closing unit, like if Aaron Gordon has foul trouble, and it's like seamless. It's really all systems go for this team right now. You watch every team that we go up against. When the bench comes in, it's like generally like a pretty big drop off.
Yeah.
The Denver Nuggets, it's still a big drop off, but you're not just like holding on for dear life, just being like, God, when is Jokic going to come back in? When is Jokic going to come back in? Now it's sort of just like, all right, like we got good defense being played. You're not freaked out every time Christian takes a shot, every time P-Watt takes a shot. Like there's a pretty good chance it's going to go in. And Reggie's obviously like up, down, all over the place. He's an older player. It's been a long season, but it's nice to see that you don't ever fear for confidence with Reggie Jackson. Like he doesn't.
I feel a little bit for it.
Do you? For me, it's like I just think that he is just above. Like I just think he has irrational confidence at all points in time.
He's gonna get him up.
He's gonna get them up. He never is not shooting the ball. It's just. Before it seemed like, he was just wearing down physically a little bit. And so it's good to see he's able to play a game like this with high energy this late in the year.
Yeah. I think Reggie, he will always take shots. But I think there's a bit of a difference to his game when he's playing with confidence and, when he's just out there shooting it.
That's fair.
And I think tonight after he got like that first layup in traffic to go in the fourth quarter, I feel like he carried himself a little differently after that. And people underestimate how quickly like one game, or they underestimate that like one game can totally change things for a player. I legit feel like this could change things for Reggie Jackson. Like we'll see what happens, but the fact that like he made multiple big buckets down the stretch and close this game for Denver, like I think that could have big ramifications for him going forward. And I agree with you. Like he's looked banged up, and there's been a lot of chatter around the team about like Reggie looks injured, Reggie needs some time off, he doesn't look 100%, and so we'll see. But he looked great tonight. Christian Braun looked great tonight. Peyton Watson had a good second half. So it was a great night for the second unit.
You just talked about those three names, like in a row. If you throw in Zeke in the mix, there was a switch for all of those players that they were not playing well, and then they decided to play well. And you know what that switch was? Michael Malone choosing them, like proving that he's going to choose them. That's when all of the switch came. And this was a game that Reggie got to close over Jamal.
Yep.
That can do something for you mentally, where you're like, hey, the coach believes in me again. I got called out publicly, but now he's like going to give me praise publicly. I know in this post-game conference, they're going to talk about how well he was playing.
Here it is right here.
That you're just thinking about those type of things.
This is from Michael Malone. Post-game, he said, Jamal Murray and KCP, both of the scorers table, said to me, let Reggie Jackson ride, let Christian Braun ride. This group is playing well. Part of our culture is being selfless, getting over yourself.
Nuggets culture, dude.
This is the perfect redemption arc for Reggie Jackson already, man. Plays bad, coach calls him out, plays well, closes the game. That's how it's supposed to work.
I also think Dev's onto something, too. They're leaving Jokic out there first, and then Reggie plays with Jokic, and then it's Jamal on the bench. And those guys, Reggie with just Jokic is a lot different than Reggie with just Jamal.
Yeah.
And I do wonder, is it an 8.5, 9-man rotation in the playoffs where Reggie's just kind of a bridge with the starters, rarely, occasionally, and then it's that unit we saw tonight with Jamal, Christian, Justin, Peyton, AG, or maybe some of those Justin minutes are Porter, but maybe that's your group. And if it's just Reggie playing with Jokic for shorter minutes and shorter spurts, that can work.
Yeah.
But that I really liked that lineup that was out there in the first, and I like that. They split them up.
Yeah. Let's hit a break, and we got a lot more to get to from this game. We'll talk about Nikola Jokic's night, Jamal Murray's night. What else from this game after this?
Breckenridge Brewery, you know we love our Breck beers at DNVR. They're the official craft beer of DNVR. They've got a beer for any occasion. There's no better way to watch a game than having some Breck Brew. Try out some of our favorites like the Avalanche Amber Ale, the Mile High City Capalaga, the Broncos Country Pale Ale, the Funslinger, the Good Company Hard Seltzer. These pair well with different teams, different game nights, whether it's an Avs night or a Nuggets night. Check out the beer locator at breckbrew.com to find a brew near you. Bet365, where it's never ordinary. They don't do ordinary. They believe every sport should be epic, and right now new customers can choose between 2 offers when they open an account at Bet365. Use the DNVR365 code to sign up, deposit $10, and choose between either a bet and get offer and place a bet of $5 or more, or $150 in bonus bets. First bet safety net offer is also available. You can place a bet up to $1,000, and if your qualifying bet loses, you receive a matched refund in bonus bets. There's the NBA early payout offer, where your money line bets or your parlay selections can be marked as winners if your team goes up by 20 points, even if they still lose. Here's the deal, though. You have to be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado. Please do gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, back here on the Winners Lounge, presented by Bet365, Never Ordinary. Nuggets get the win tonight, 188 over the Miami Heat. I saw CT Fazio put this on Twitter just when the game was wrapping up. He said that Christian Brown is the most reliable player off the Nuggets bench.
Interesting.
And I think that's been a different guy at different points in this season.
Yes.
I think at the beginning of the year it was clearly Reggie Jackson. I think in the middle portion of the year, it might have been Peyton Watson. Now, it definitely feels like Christian Brown to me. I'm curious what you guys think. Who do you think is the most reliable player off the bench?
I think that you put it in the perfect spot. Like, they're going through stretches. And, I mean, that's a great sight to see if you're the Nuggets, because you already have the best starting 5 in basketball. And now you have different options on the bench that each night it could be a new player. And I'm glad that each one had their moment, had their time, because that makes them more dangerous. That makes them more difficult for you to game plan for, because you just don't know which one has it. Right now at this stretch, Christian Brown is playing the most reliable, just because of those highs. I mean, I think that Peyton Watson has the highest ceiling. I think that moving forward, he's going to be the best. But as of right now, this is the Christian Brown stretch, and the way that they're playing alongside each other makes it that much better. Now you add Reggie Jackson to the mix. Now this looks like a bench that there's nothing you could do with this team. Yeah. So I think that the answer is all of them. But right now, it's Christian Brown's time.
Yeah, it's wild. Like, I have a hard time kind of separating them, because to me it feels just like a unit. Like, Peyton Watson, you always feel good about him defensively. You generally feel good about, like, if he's shooting a mid-range shot, like, that generally you feel good about.
Right now, like, I want Peyton Watson shooting those mid-range jumpers.
He hits every one of them somehow. He's still, like, pretty shaky from behind the three-point line, but I don't know, man. Like, the bench to me is just like, it's hard to separate them. They are playing as a unit, which is like the greatest thing that you could hope for. That there's not a guy that's just trying to make things happen. You know, like early on when it was Reggie, it was just like Reggie was going off. He had the 6th Man of the Year campaign that I think lasted 4 days. We never really got that one going. Maybe it's not too late. Reggie's 6th Man of the Year.
Yeah,
that was a hell of a time.
Yeah, I mean, this is something to think about, Vogt. Like, what other team in the league has a bench unit, or just a team that you could throw in Reggie Jackson and Christian Brown down the stretch against the Miami Heat, a team that was just in the finals?
Yeah, it's a great point, and I was also laughing about Christian Brown looking the way he did tonight. We joke a lot about the teams we expect Murray to cook. What is it with Christian Brown in Miami?
A lot of attractive women in
that's
Miami.
Part of it, I'm wondering. But
I mean, potentially.
He really.
I'm not saying it is, but potentially.
The confidence skyrockets in Miami. I'll say that. But yeah, man,
he had the great Game 3 in the finals.
Dude, maybe this like
he played well tonight.
Yeah, maybe this like Little Havana, Browntown. Like, there's a whole area of Miami.
Maybe Browntown is actually located in the greater Miami area.
Oh my God, this is like a Gotham
Kale,
thing.
can you get out Google Maps? Can you find it, please? We may have cracked the code.
Brautaun.
Yeah,
I also
it's actually
think-
just a suburb of Miami.
I also think, look, if this does jumpstart Reggie, then Murray deserves a lot of credit, man, for doing that. It wasn't his best night. I don't blame him for those bench minutes. I thought he was getting a lot of attention. Like, those passes to Justin were fine. Justin needs to hit one of those shots, so it still wasn't his night, and it was Reggie's night, and I think Murray making that choice is awesome. It says a lot about the Nuggets culture, and if Reggie does get going from there, I do think we should remember this moment and give Murray credit for it.
Yeah, I think it could be maybe a turning point for him down the stretch here, which would be great news for the Nuggets. Let's get to the starters, though. Nikola Jokic, 12 points. He only took 8 shots tonight, 14 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 turnovers. This was a weird game from Jokic. It feels like one of the rare games where I really don't remember any particular play that he made.
It's a great point.
Which is a statement I don't know if I've ever made this season after a Nuggets game. I don't know, Dev. What do you take away from his night?
This was like a sleepwalk, under control type of game from Nikola. He really didn't have to do too much. He did not have to score. He didn't have to score. He didn't have to set the tone with the passes or anything like that. This was kind of like a mano-a-mano, him versus Bam type of matchup. But he was like, hey, I'm gonna just play my game with you, but everyone else is going off around me, so I don't have to overdo it. I mean, he shot 5 of 8 from the field. He could have shot 15 times if he wanted to, but he's like, hey, no, other people have it, and also I'm going to read what's happening here. Jokic clearly he obviously didn't give away too much in this game. It was just like, hey, I'm just going to come out here and play. I don't have to do too much. Other people have it.
Yeah, it was a weird, dude. That's what I'm saying. Outside of Michael Porter Jr., no one really was shining, but then no one was playing poorly.
Right.
No
Very
one. It was just a very, very collective, balanced effort. It was weird because you wouldn't say that Jokic had a bad game. You wouldn't say he had a great game. You would say he had a fine, he just had a good game. But I was astounded to see his point total when the game was over. Yeah. Generally, you're like, oh man, I didn't notice Jokic at all. That probably means he scored 26.
Yeah.
12. He didn't shoot the ball, but I was never bothered by it.
Well, I mean, he had a lot of attention, and Miami went zone for a bit. And
yeah, they were throwing a lot of bodies at him. They were mucking up the paint. Bam Adebayo did play very well tonight. Honestly,
Yoke's calculation may be, we're going to win this game. It's not the finals. I really don't need to let them beat the shit out of me for 4 quarters. You know what I mean? I'll just make this pass. Mike's hot. So I didn't... The only 12 points and 8 shots doesn't bother me. It's actually the 4 turnovers to 6 assists that's a little uncharacteristic. But ultimately, to me, it never felt like Denver wasn't going to grab control of this game.
Totally.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't I was never stressing Jokic effort, to be honest.
I gotta think Nikola Jokic loved how this game played out.
For sure.
I think he's probably sitting in the locker room being like, "What a great win tonight!" I only scored 12 points. I probably should have had a triple-double tonight and maybe 15 assists if we hit the amount of threes we should have. But I love that I only had to score 12 points tonight and we still won by double digits.
Yeah, this was a game that I feel like I give Bam more credit than anything else because he really did calm him down, but also Jokic was kind of relaxed, kind of cool in this game. Because I do think that Jokic loved this game, but also he played 37 minutes. It wasn't like he was not out there.
Right.
He led the team in minutes in this game. So I think that he was just like, hey, as long as we have the lead, as long as we're under control, I'm fine with this. So I think that this was just like a at bay type of game.
Jamal Murray tonight, 14 points, 5 assists, 0 turnovers, 5 of 14 shooting. A very quiet night from him. He ceded the point guard duties at the end of the game for kind of crunch time of this one to Reggie Jackson. It was a pedestrian game from, Jamal Murray, coming off a string of really good performances from him. Does anything stand out from his night to you, Vogt?
Well, real quick, shout out Chet, who correctly pointed out that one of those Jokic turnovers was him just dropping the ball before the game was over and walking away. So
get your head out of your ass, Jokic.
Another one was definitely Porter's fault. So
There was also some more elite time wasting from Nikola Jokic in this game. I think he wasted like 20 seconds on one possession where he just let the ball sit there in the backcourt and didn't pick it up. And no Heat player ran over to make him do anything.
So stupid.
It's incredible.
That's actually, like, the more that I watch basketball, the more insane it is that you can roll the ball in, but, like, the clock runs, but the shot clock doesn't start until somebody touches it. It's like a very bizarre loophole.
Yeah. I'm sure if I thought about that, there's definitely a reason why that's the rule, but right now it makes zero sense.
On the Murray side of things, another night with 5 assists, no turnovers, and I think he easily could have had more. Again, like those Justin Holiday misses, good shots that Murray created because he got a lot of attention. I think it could easily be 7 assists, no turnovers, that kind of a night. Wasn't his best shot-making night, but I think he helped contribute to a good start in the first quarter, and ultimately, like I said earlier, love that move, man, letting Reggie close. That's awesome. So not a lot of criticism tonight, not a great shot-making night, but at 5 assists, no turnovers, you'll take that from the point guard as well. Yeah, with Jamal, this might have been his most selfless thing that we have heard or saw out loud. Because I watched him walk to the scorer's table. Him and KCP were about to get back in the game, and everyone's wondering, where is Jamal? Why is he not in the game? Especially after Reggie Jackson kind of threw one that went out of bounds. It was like, okay, let's get him back in there. Malone called a timeout. For Jamal to go out there and say, hey, let them guys rock. They've been playing really well. That's maturity. That's what you need from your point guard. And he even showed them love. Them panning to him, he's showing them love on the side, pepping them up and getting them ready. That's a champion. That's what you need from your team. Guys that are about each other, guys that are glued together and connected. So I really like that. Even Jamal didn't have a good game. He could have went out there and just took every single shot. He could have pulled a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He could have done those things, but he said
Anybody
no.
see that?
No,
we all saw that.
Shameless.
Little stat padding going on in the MVP race.
Just a little.
Apparently.
Just a little.
Sorry, Dev. Sorry.
No, I just think that was... I love that from him tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You got anything on Jamal?
Not really. It's just... Yeah, I agree, man. He's just another... Tonight, another cog in the machine. It wasn't peanut butter jelly time tonight at all.
Yep.
It was all the crusts got together and made a very satisfying meal. Everyone just, so that's beautiful. Again, just different ways to win every night. You don't have to rely on your horses every single night. Yep. There's enough guys. There's enough on this team to find different ways to beat you. And so I was thinking about this too. That we just swept the Heat. Which is the most impressive series sweep? Is it the Lakers, the
Boston.
Warriors, Boston, Miami? Those are all top tier teams. We swept them all.
It's true.
It's probably Boston just because they only have 14 losses on the season and 2 of those are to Denver.
It's wild.
But yeah, the Heat, tough team to beat. Nuggets have had some very impressive wins this season. The Lakers on, their 3 different Super Bowls this year. Banner night.
I know.
Kobe statue night. LeBron 40K night.
Yeah, you just said those teams, the Lakers, the Heat now, and Golden State.
Golden State?
Denver controls all of them now. That is teams that they used to clearly struggle with, that you used to worry about.
The Nuggets just taking down all the big market teams this year.
They're knocking out all big market teams. Yeah. Seriously, if you look at those stats, if you look at those records lately, they control those.
They call this team Godzilla, right? Just wrecking big cities on the coast, man.
Yeah,
and
part of it changing the narrative, man.
Part of how that is it goes back to your guys' point earlier about how they're not relying on threes, and then this other dynamic that's always very apparent to me when they play Miami, because Miami is a team that can out-execute a team that's better than them if those shots aren't falling. Just look at the Boston series. But that is just not how it goes against Denver. Denver is the team that's too talented, and they execute. And Denver is a team that wins when they hit threes and when they don't. Denver's a team that has a switch on offense and on defense. And so, roster-wise in a regular season, does Boston have the most complete roster? Sure. But this is why I think Denver is the most complete contender, because it's not contingent upon any one thing, except for Jokic. But
the Nuggets are just the real team. I say this all the time, but in the NBA, a lot of quote-unquote teams are just comprised of different guys. The Nuggets are actually a team, and I love that about them. Let's hit another break. Kale has informed me that he has located Browntown.
What?
Yeah. He's got a location.
This feels dirty.
On Browntown. I haven't seen it.
I know we're on the internet, but
I don't know where it's at, but we'll get to it on the other side.
Man, it's too bad Adam's not here, but we still have the soundboard, right? Because I got to talk about Red Hawk Roofing. Yeah, the best roofers in Denver. They've joined the DNVR team. Quality materials, decades of experience, quick response time, Colorado's best estimators and contractors, and my favorite part, huge DNVR supporters. You could say they're our guys. They're fellas.
Oh, dude, you should say they're
You
our
should
guys.
say that. Hail season is coming up, so don't wait to take care of any issues before more big storms hit. We're actually going to get a chance to go see the boys in action. I might get to wear a hard hat. Very excited about that.
Oh, yeah, we might be doing something with Red Hawk Roofing.
We might be watching them doing some
I
roofing.
think we are. We're going to be on site.
I'm going to be asking them about Michael Porter Jr. while they work. If you're looking for a new roof over your home or business, be sure to check out Red Hawk Roofing at redhawkroofing.com, and be sure to tell them that it was DNVR who sent you. I also got to talk to you folks about Premier Members Credit Union. If you're new to Denver or you're thinking about switching financial institutions in Denver, sure, you've got a lot of options. Here's one to remember. Premier Members Credit Union. They're not a bank, which means they do things differently, like putting their members first with higher savings interest and lower loan rates. This is an organization that serves the community, your community, the Colorado community. And with PMCU, you get local branches, friendly tellers, the tools you need to save smarter, like their new high-yield savings account, or earn 5% APY on your first $2,000 with their reverse tier money market. When you become a new member at PMCU, you'll get $200. That's sweet. All you have to do is open a checking account and sign up for e-statements. It's that easy. This will be your best money move yet. Head to becomepremier.com to find out more.
All right, back here on the Winners Lounge, presented by Bet365, Never Ordinary. Nuggets get the win, 188 over the Miami Heat. I want to get to, the other starters in a second. Aaron Gordon, KCP, talk about some of the bench a little more as well. Do we have a location on Browntown, though?
Oh, there it is. It's west of Miami. It looks like it's pretty near the Everglades.
Browntown, okay.
Was Browntown sold is it on Swampland?
It's so close to Miami.
That's prime real estate, man.
Dude, it's unbelievable.
Who would have known that Browntown was just there the whole time and we had zero idea?
I bet knows? Flowrider.
Oh, okay.
Flowrider and Pitbull probably knew that.
And the song Brownton by Flo Rida is going to hit like crack, dude.
Wow, okay. Glad we got to the bottom of that.
I didn't think we were going to get a Flow Rider reference tonight. That's
I hoped we would. I didn't think we would.
I didn't have my money on it.
Aaron Gordon, 16 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists in this one. Hit a big 3 in the second half. He was a plus 17.
Yeah.
Highest plus minus on the Nuggets. And KCP tonight, just 9 points, 1 of 5 from 3. But I will say, these are the games where their defense is just really standing out. I mean, the Heat score 88 points.
88 points, dude.
Anytime you hold a team in the NBA to under 90, that's a standout defensive game. Even in, the era that we're in, apparently, where there are no more fouls getting called, post Karl Anthony Towns scoring 63 points.
I'm glad that the NBA saw that and we're like, all right,
That's the line.
I'm convinced that was the line.
That's the
They
line.
took a look in the mirror like, what are we doing?
They were
What is
cool
this?
with Luka. They were cool with Embiid. Once Towns did it, they were like, we're done.
They're like, we've got problems.
Yeah,
we got
Scott Foster, do your thing. But I love the defense from KCP and Aaron Gordon tonight, and they definitely deserve shout-outs.
Man, now that the Nuggets are finally number 1 out west, hopefully there's more discussion about KCP being an all-NBA defender. Because like that, they've been playing well defensively. They're one of the best defensive teams in the league, and he's the person you point to when you look at that. Everything goes around Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray. But they have other pieces that are putting it together, and KCP is like one of the most consistent players in the entire NBA because he brings it every single
His whole
night.
life is consistent.
It's only about that. I mean, he's playing well right now, and that's on both ends of the floor. But the way that he has stepped up on defense, it makes Denver that much better.
Did you remember the finals? Do you remember the finals when the Nuggets had like a crazy grind of a series? Like Miami didn't score, Denver didn't score, especially in that last game. Miami scored more tonight than more in the game that they were eliminated in the finals than they did tonight.
Oh, wow.
By a point. It was 80. They scored 89 in the game they were eliminated.
Oh, we didn't even mention, right? A mega munder on
Dude,
a
a
Wednesday
mega
here?
munder?
A mega munder.
munder.
Actually, is tonight the first mega munder of this season?
I'm not sure. Have to get research on that.
Kale,
Check into that.
Kale, stop looking at Brown Town.
Also, Gordon, I think, had the game we thought he would have offensively. I mean, he missed some time there with the 4 fouls, but 16 points and they looked the way we thought they would look. Like, too big for them, too strong. And, Dev, you called for a little bit of better rebounding from AG, and he grabbed 8 tonight, 2 offensive boards. So I just thought it was a good physical game from him, and then 4 assists as well as a little treat.
Yeah. I like Dev's question about the all-defense, though, because we talked about that today in a roundtable on thednvr.com, which you can read if you're a DNVR diehard. Me, Adam, Vogt, just talking about the Nuggets, our real, unfiltered thoughts on there for diehards. And one of the questions that I proposed was, will Denver have any representation on an all-defense team this season? And I think the answer to that is unfortunately going to be no. There's only 10 spots. There's only 2 all-defense teams, and this year they took away the positions on all defense, so it's just 5 guys. It's positionless. It could be all centers, which
Yeah.
I just hate.
That would have changed things, I think, because you don't have like the Marcus Smarts, and Patrick Beverly is not playing as many minutes. I think he might have had a chance if it was not for the positionless one.
Maybe, but I think if a Nugget was going to make it, being number 1 in the West, maybe we'll get him a little more of a look, but I think the Nuggets would have to be like a top 3 defense for one of those guys to seriously make a run at all defense.
I don't think it's completely outside the realm of possibility, though. Like, this has been rumbling for a while. We've been talking about this all season long. KCP has been extremely consistent. There hasn't been a time when you're like,
Totally.
Again, the ill-fated Reggie Jackson 6 Man of the Year campaign, which had failure to launch.
Yeah.
The KCP all defense, they were calling them first team last season,
Totally.
this season. I mean, we'll see. I mean, at least in this era, the golden era, the Denver Nuggets at least have eyes on them. You can reasonably expect them to get some kind of bump. So we'll see. I mean, I think you're probably right because of the positionlessness of the designation, but he absolutely deserves it. He's as good as Marcus Smart was.
He absolutely does. I mean, he is super consistent. He's also locked down a lot of really high-profile guys. Steph Curry, for one.
Yes.
I mean, if you just put Steph Curry's numbers against the Nuggets, that's going to give KCP a lot of shine. But my feeling on all defense is to make all defense, there's this group of 12 players that you just select, that voters select from a pool,
of course,
to make their all defense team, and it's really hard to break into that 12-player group.
I think you're right.
And I kind of think you need anchoring the number 1 defense in the NBA. You need a narrative like that to get into that group. I'm totally with you. KCP deserves it in my mind, though.
Yeah.
The Avs are doing the Avs beat so dirty right now. The game has been on for under 3 minutes. They're down by 2, and they started at 8:30.
Both goals looked exactly
on the
the same.
snowpocalypse night.
Yeah. Tough start.
More on the Nuggets bench here. We touched on it a little earlier, but Reggie, I thought, was a standout tonight. Christian Brown was a standout tonight. Zeke Naji played 5 minutes. What was interesting tonight, Aaron Gordon picked up 3 fouls in the first half, and then I'm sitting here wondering, does this mean he's not going to play backup center in the second half? Because as the first half was going along, it seemed like a night where the game was going to be close. Michael Malone was probably going to maybe shorten the bench a little in the second half. Aaron Gordon probably would be there at backup center. he does come in and play backup center, only picks up 1 foul the entire second half, and I feel like that was kind of a big boost for Denver.
I'm sorry, what's that, Zeke playing?
AG playing backup
okay,
5.
I got extremely confused for a second. I was going to go another way on the Zeke minutes. No, yeah, totally. I really like that lineup, man. That lineup of Jamal, Christian, Justin, Peyton. And I know it wasn't a great night for Justin shooting the ball, and then AG at 5. I really, really like that lineup. Yeah. So, again, this is a sneaky, maybe not sneaky because we're all on the same page, but I thought this was a very, very good Aaron Gordon game where he showed his utility and how, again, a nice reminder that him playing at the 5 really does open up a lot of options for Denver to build a competent bench. And so when they've needed it, they've gone to it. And when they've gone to it, it's worked.
Yeah, I mean, they went with that option, but also there was not many things to read from this game besides that. Like, they shortened the rotation, and then they went with him as the second option off the bench. And I think we're going to see a lot of that. We're not going to see a bunch of Zeke minutes in the playoffs.
He was not that great.
And this was a mindset of this is like a playoff type of game. So I feel like that was like a real thing that we're going to be able to see. Aaron Gordon's able to hold his own down there, especially with these type of matchups. Bam Adebayo and Aaron Gordon are pretty much the same size. So, like, that is a good matchup for him where you don't have to have another big man to throw out there. So I think that's just an option they feel comfortable with.
Yeah. Let's see. Some other notes on this game. Patty Mills played for the Heat.
He did. Was that another buyout? Was that a buyout acquisition?
The buyout market got everybody again, man. The buyout market did it again.
And also, when you called this on the pregame show, Thomas Bryant did play 9 points, 6 boards in 13 minutes, 3 of 4. Pretty good back in 7 minutes.
I was personally offended.
Thomas Bryant ate tonight.
I was
courtesy of Circle K Winter Circle.
Even the first shot that he made, I was like, I've never seen him make a shot. I have never, unless he was
Do you
playing
think
for the
there's
Lakers.
a team out there that's like, man, maybe we could get Thomas Bryant on the buyout market?
Yeah, probably the Nuggets, man. They're like, maybe we just didn't use him right. That guy didn't make a single basket for the Denver Nuggets. He ran out of town. He got a ring. He comes back in. He eats again. Give us back the ring.
We respect Thomas Bryant, Denver Nuggets legend.
Oh, man. But the buyout market did fool everybody again. It tricked everybody once again. DeLon Wright, his 6th straight DNP CD for the Miami Heat tonight.
Yeah,
I'm actually keeping track.
Yeah,
I got a little tally right here.
You are.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tonight was 6. Everybody wanted him in Denver, of course. I also got to note that people wanted Patty Mills in Denver tonight. He was 1 of 6 from the floor, 0 of 3 from 3. Do you know how mad we'd be if we had to watch Patty Mills jack up threes?
It would just look like Reggie Jackson.
We would talk ourselves
Justin
into
Holiday.
it. We would talk ourselves into it. It'd be a Bryn Forbes type of signing.
Oh, nobody copes like we do. I mean, we would be like, I see a lot of potential. I think we just need a little more time to coalesce with the bench.
Honestly, after a title, let's try again with Tyler Lydon. F it, dude. I feel like I could talk myself
we
into
can do no
any of
wrong,
this,
dude.
you know
We
what I'm
can do
saying?
no wrong.
Who do you think is the worst rotation player that the Nuggets could have and win a championship with?
Like from their past?
Like Facu Campazzo?
Yeah.
from
They
their
didn't win a
past year or just in the
championship
NBA?
It would have to be,
Well, wait, you said
Let-
rotation.
it would
let's
have to
play
be
from their
Ish
past.
Smith.
Yeah, you're right.
Could
Ish?
Ish Smith be an 8th man on a Nuggets championship team?
Easily. Easily.
It would have to be Jeff Green.
Yeah. I guess we did see it.
Yeah, that's not even like theory. That actually just happened.
Yeah, that's like you can have Jeff Green and go 16-4 and win it. You can cruise to a championship with him as your 8th man.
That's not like a thought we have. That is what happened.
Yeah. All right, let's hit another break. Got some super chats on the other side. I think we could go around the association as well.
Okay.
My my computer is dead.
Oh, convenient. Dev's computer's dead. Convenient.
Cool. I got you. Illegal Pete's is the go-to spot for burritos, buddy, and beers. That's true in many spots all around Colorado, including now Wheat Ridge. You've got a friend in the burrito business. Illegal Pete's Gold is open. Swing by and join the festivities with live music, endless margaritas, and of course, all your favorite burrito fixins. Located in Gold's Marketplace on the corner of 26th and Kipling, overlooking Crown Hill Park in Wheat Ridge, Colorado. Stop by to be a part of the historic Illegal Pete's moment.
People are going to be talking about it for centuries.
Illegal Pete's, it's your go-to spot for burritos, buddies, and beer. I might go soon, because like I could use all three of those things.
Yeah, I think most stuff you could use a buddy.
That's where I was starting.
Just say it,
That's
dude.
where I was going.
You definitely don't need a beer.
Strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
Let's go.
Like the Inner Circle Rewards Program. Download the app. You could just scan that QR code right there on the screen. It's a free membership. It's easy to download, and you get your first 5 fill-ups of gas 25 cents off a gallon. That's pretty sweet. Plus, your first 5 Polar Pops are free. Eric's pretty excited about that.
Go
And every
for Polar
6th
Pop
item
right now.
on several items is free, such as pizza, roller grill, dispensed beverages, donuts, and more. Plus, get a free any-size Polar Pop from Colorado Circle K's by texting DNVR to 31310. That's DNVR to the number 31310. Message and data rates apply. Periodic recurring messages per month. Terms and conditions can be viewed at CircleK.com. Sign up with the QR code on that screen or visit www.circlek.com/innercircle for more information.
All right, back here on the Winners Lounge, presented by Bet365. Never ordinary. Nuggets get the win tonight, 188 over the Miami Heat. Nuggets have only lost 1 game since the All-Star break. Of course, we all remember that.
They probably shouldn't have lost it.
They definitely shouldn't have lost
Yeah,
it.
but I'm telling you, man, if they win that one, they lose the Boston game. I'm like glad they lost that game. I know it's ridiculous logic that doesn't make
That
sense
is
at all.
horrendous logic.
Yep, but that's my analyst's perspective on this. Can I
probably
ask you
right.
guys really quick? Can I put you guys on the spot?
Yeah.
Do the Nuggets keep the 1 seed?
Yes.
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 Absolutely. Do you
I
think they're going to slow down?
think Minnesota is in for some tough times ahead.
Although they just destroyed the Clippers.
It's
It's
the
OKC
Clippers,
though.
bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. OKC. I think OKC losing it this quickly is bad news because their schedule is harder than Denver, and Denver just all it taking was 11 games here to close this gap. It's probably theirs.
Every single one of us looked at the post All-Star break schedule, the Nuggets coming into it, the easiest schedule moving forward.
Yeah.
Every one of us loudly and proudly said that they would get the number 1 seed. This is not surprising in any way, shape, or form. They're definitely going to keep it.
I'll also say this. I brought this up a little earlier, joking, but I'm serious. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander stat padding that bucket at
Really
the end of
bad.
that loss last night. I'll just issue a warning to the Thunder and their fans. Don't anger the basketball gods.
Yeah, dude.
The basketball gods do not like that shit, and I'm a little worried for the Thunder after I saw that because I've got to think, based off of that, there's this understanding within that team that is, oh, we got to get Shai the MVP, like that is a focus for us, and I'd be a little cautious of that.
For
if
those
I
who
was
didn't
them.
see it, the game was over. SGA fouled so that he would get an extra possession and then sprinted down the court to lay it in.
And they were
to get
down
the-
like 10.
and to get 30 to break Kevin Durant's
Double digits.
30-point single season 30-point game record in OKC. I got to be honest, guys. We've talked a lot about stat padding and flopping like in the last couple of years. This might be the most egregious, the single egregious
Yo, I'm
offense
saying,
I've
like,
ever
I
seen.
never in my life would have even considered the idea of stat padding until Kendrick Perkins made it the biggest deal on earth, brought it up as like a criminal offense and a way to diminish the greatness of Nikola Jokic. And now that I see, like, now that I'm actually paying attention to things like that, it is disgusting the way the league operates. I cannot believe that Nikola Jokic being called up for stat padding or Nikola Jokic being the face of sitting games. Like, which one is more ridiculous in the last couple of years?
More ridiculous, the notion of him potentially stat padding or
Load
managing?
management. Like, both are patently absurd, but which is the most
stat
ridiculous?
padding's probably a little more absurd.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. I mean, the guy's never lied in his life.
I know.
Never told a lie.
Dude, if anything, he like stat submarines. Like he's ruined so many potential triple doubles by just not whatever.
Let's go around the association real quick, and then we'll head to Super Chats. The Cavs beat the Red Hot Pelicans 116-95. Garland with 27 points, 6 rebounds, 11 assists. Zion had 33 in this game, but the Pelicans lose. They've been playing really well lately, too.
Yeah, Zion has been secretly putting together
Yeah.
like a few
Yeah.
good games. Like, you don't hear his name the same way that he actually used to, but he's been scoring that bit.
Yeah. The Hornets beat the Grizzlies Don't need to go into that much. The Bulls beat the Pacers in overtime.
Ooh, that's a big win for
DeMar
them.
DeRozan had 46 in the win.
46?
46.
All middies.
Who said scoring is dead?
Yo, are they gonna? Is Lonzo Ball gonna play for them this year?
I don't know. He's just learned how to run again.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit down the road.
But promising news
He's
that
clear
he
for
can
basketball
run.
activities.
That's
They
what I'm
said,
saying.
Right.
Yeah.
which is
Good
running.
for him. Honestly, good for him.
The
Good for him.
Orlando Magic, who nobody continues to talk about, despite the fact
Including
they're
us,
the
don't talk
5
about it.
seed.
Next.
They must have lost.
They beat the Nets 114-106 tonight. Big night in the Eastern Conference. The Pistons beat the Raptors 113-104. And in the Western Conference, the Mavs putting the finishing touches on a win over the Warriors 109-97. 23 for Kyrie Irving. Only 21 points for Luka Doncic.
How many minutes did Luka play?
Only 30.
Yeah, the only reason I asked that because they have a matchup tomorrow, I think, against the OKC Thunder. And we have to root for the Dallas
Interesting.
Mavericks, right? Like, you want to get some cushion
Absolutely.
on that 1 seed.
For that
So
pushing.
we're all Luka fans.
Steph Curry didn't play in this game. He's still out with that ankle injury. And that's about it for Around the Association.
Good stuff, man. That was about 5 minutes shorter than the normal Around the Association.
Should we get through some super
We
chats?
play
blazed
Super
around the
Chats.
association.
We sprinted around that
We
moment.
went right through the association.
The boys' dad. Nuggets pour our blizzard on the Heat in clutch time. Let's hear it for the snow.
I'm going to tell you right now, though, like,
Yay.
Snow will lose to Heat every time. Like, I do rock,
Yeah.
paper, scissors. Snow
Yeah.
loses to Heat.
It is like
Science with the DNVR Nuggets fellas.
it is like it gets out to an early lead, but you can't.
Yeah,
you can't
yeah,
hang.
yeah, for
You
sure.
can't hang.
That's a great quote. Big Honey, yeah, milk.
Yeah, milk.
Michael Milker Porter Jr. That's disgusting.
Dude,
Yeah, that's a little-
Is it disgusting?
No one likes that. Gen B, the Heat Pack firing up. Smoke that Heat Pack, mother effers. R.I.P. Bozo. Go Nugs.
Oh, that person is turned.
I feel
Is
like
that-
I had a very different understanding of who Gen
No,
B.
and in the picture, it looks like they're like in like a Snuggie or
That's what I'm
something like
saying.
that.
Go back, Hill.
Is this Gen B's son on Gen B's account?
That was like very violent for a Snuggie.
Yeah. Wow, Jen.
This is definitely Gen B's like
She won a
15-year-old
bet, or she
kid.
lives in Miami. Or there's something happening there.
Smoking that Heat Pack, motherfuckers.
Rest in peace, bozos. Whenever if you call somebody a bozo,
I love it,
You
dude.
mean it.
I love this Gen B energy, dude.
All right, good
She must
start.
hate Jimmy Butler.
Cole Bressler. What are you going to do when the Denver Milkmen come for you?
Dude, our show is so stupid.
I know.
See, the usual progression is like we make up something on the show,
Yeah.
then the Nuggets team officially adopts it.
Yeah, dude.
You
Guess
know,
the stat
like,
line.
yeah, Mike,
Yeah.
guess Jokic's stat line based off his suit,
So
Murray
what-
Flurry.
What are you
Porter,
expecting?
Porter.
Milker Porter Jr. to be the next one?
I don't know if the milk's going to
It's gonna
catch on.
be the something junior though, like the Michael
Right.
Stiller Jr. They're
Right,
gonna
right.
take that.
I'm
Nuggets
just
Stiller
curious
Jr.
what aspect of the milk
Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
conversation
like-
is going to filter into the team.
Somebody's like, "Hey, make it make sense, man. What are we missing here?
Well, hey, I
Do
know
we
how,
love cows?
I know how we can get
Who's
this
gonna
super
milk?
chat back on the rails, okay? Let's get the super chat back on the rails. Next up, Chuck Dickwell's burner.
Oh man,
Nuggets first Heat. What is this, my
My
microwave?
microwave!
what is this? Hey, babe,
Here we go.
Dickwell came by again.
Here we go.
Yo, I gotta think that at least once every episode somebody watches this for the first time, and then in this section they're like, "What the fuck is happening?"
Yeah, that's why we
what?
do this part at the
have-
end.
In order for you to understand, you have to watch 100 other shows, and still then you have a very
That's why we do it at the
loose
end.
understanding. Yeah.
If we led with this, I don't know if the show would have the same success.
RP43 in the chat said Vlatko definitely the milkman.
Steam Machine.
If that becomes Vlatko's nickname, that could be a thing.
Steam Machine checking in from Canada, perhaps? Is that Canadian dollars? Stephen A. Smith dying on the Tatum MVP hill today. Salty.
As long as he dies, right? I mean, it doesn't matter.
That's the worst when you're like, no, you're completely wrong, and there's no chance, and you're still going with it.
Yo, the wildest turn in all of sports is Nick Wright now becoming a Jokic stan.
What?
You want to talk about the power of Nikola Jokic turning doubters into believers? Nick Wright was making an impassioned plea for how good Nikola Jokic was today, this day.
Yeah,
Joke's on us.
he's going to think we forgot, though.
No,
That's the thing.
Yeah,
like
or
pref-
just the power of the internet being the place where you can say whatever you want and there's really no consequences for being wrong.
I mean, I applaud it, right? Like, it's better than just digging in and dying forever. At a
guess.
certain point, like,
I
when you're
guess.
like, all right, I'm an idiot, fine.
Yeah, but why did we bother getting in on it early when we could have just hated the whole time and changed our minds?
Because
at the
his
last
life
second?
sucks and
I'm just
ours
kidding,
are the
man.
best.
That's a good point. Cedric Exquisite. Nuggets are number one, back-to-back champions. I'm calling it.
Screenshot this.
Screenshot this. Julian Stout, another win in Miami for Maxey the Milker and the West leading Nuggets.
Maxie the Milker. Oh my
Dude,
god.
Maxie the Milk. Nobody Google that. There's nothing good can come up from
Turn
Maxie
safe
the
search
Milk.
on.
You put Maxie the Milker into Twitter, oh my God, your algorithm is going to be changed forever.
I can't express enough that
gonna
this
look
is
like
literally
mine.
about milk. This is truly not a metaphor or a euphemism. This is about milk. Bashir Daoud, new nickname for AG and MPJ, the Fantastic Four.
Okay, I thought that was going to have something to do with milk. Not going to
I'm
lie.
astounded that the milk didn't make it into that. Like the Mammoth Milkers or the Milky Men, the Milky Way.
Justin Soltis.
What's Jeff Green's nickname?
Justin says MPJ so underrated it might be criminal.
I can't say it.
Don't do it. Don't do it, man. 55555.
The milking uncle?
Oh my God.
No, it can still be the Duncan uncle. It can still be.
Oh yeah, the Oreo Duncan Uncle. The Cookie
Guys,
Duncan Uncle.
we gotta get guys. It's storming. 55555 ish. Side quest complete. Win a game with Jokic shooting less than 10 times. It feels like the Nuggets have put restrictions on themselves, or else they get bored. One seed, baby. Every Nugget is good.
Yes, sir. Another side quest.
Bubbles buzzer beater. Christian Brown 69.6% from the field plus 55.6% from threes in March. Jordan McRae could never.
Yeah, never.
That's a fact.
I promise you.
Jordan McRae got brought up in the chat as the worst player the Nuggets could win a championship with in their rotation.
Which is wrong because it's JJ Hickson.
Yo.
You know, can we clown on the East a little more? That mid-ass conference let that mid-ass Heat team get to the finals 2 out of the last 4 years. Fart noise.
It's my favorite super chat of the night.
This is aggressive.
And he's completely accurate.
Joe in Philly, Murray in the postgame presser. Is Brandon here? Let's fucking go. Deej picked up my Miller Lite giveaway sign at the bar
Oh,
tonight
hell
with
yeah.
my brother and my 3-year-old. We met you, man. I've actually met you before. It was good to see you again. So fun. Thanks, DNVR fam. All the Nuggets are
Winners
great.
and signs.
No,
Hey,
good.
real fast.
You say good.
The 3-year-old was into the game. Like,
Yeah.
understood what was happening in the game.
Dude.
Rooting for things that are happening.
I'm told also a huge Porter fan, which means that kid knows more ball than a lot of you. Tom Stewart,
When I
my
was that
mate
kid's
Bing
age,
and
I
I
only
traveled out from New Zealand.
Literally knew about a ball.
Tom Stewart, my mate Bing and I were traveled out from New Zealand and were in Denver for most of the statement week. We watched the Lakers game at the bar and had a tour of the studio. What an awesome experience. Thank you. Cheers,
We
Tom.
love that, dude. I
Awesome,
love
man. Yeah, if you guys are ever in town, if you're visiting,
Ask us.
We'll give you the whole tour. Take a picture on the set, whatever.
Devil pour you a glass of milk.
Ben Max Steofan? Sorry, brother. The love the Nuggets gave Reggie after that third make is exactly what I love about this
Oh,
team.
I love that,
The
man.
third make. The love they gave him after the third make.
Love that.
First two, that third,
Oh, yeah. Now we're ready to celebrate. BJ Malay's Snowmageddon.
no Mageddon.
Tom Stewart, again, also just wanted to thank all of the DNVR crew for all your work. You guys do a great job of connecting Nuggets fans all across the world. Really appreciate y'all. Top of the West, Dynasty Loading.
Thank you,
LFG,
man.
That
thank
was
you.
my favorite super chat of the night.
I like
right
the
there.
one about the milking uncle.
I
Oh,
know.
and making his
That was never
glorious
there.
return to the super chat. Making his glorious return just in time. It's Diz. Heat versus Nuggets. What is this? My damn microwave?
This finally makes sense.
Finally makes sense. Finally makes sense. I was going to say, if he doesn't show up tonight. And Brian Matsuno. Aloha, bros. It hit me tonight last year is that this It hit me tonight last year is that this bench with Green and BM was at its ceiling. This year the sky is the limit. Viva Los Nuggets. I gotta agree
Oh,
with
some would
this.
say Project Dynasty.
Some would say.
More from Brian. Joker would have already scored 120 if he had gotten that pussy cat whistle.
I know when
Los
somebody's
Nuggets.
just cussing. They just wanted to throw in
Dude, the
that word.
chat is fired up tonight.
Absolutely fired up.
Boys and girls are fired up.
And the way that multi-hyphenate word broke,
Yeah.
it's a little rough. I didn't know where it was going.
All right, what a night. We accomplished a lot tonight.
We did.
Nuggets beat the Heat.
Yep.
We located Browntown.
Unbelievable.
Great night in the chat. Made a bunch of jokes about milk.
Yep. Standard effort.
Guys, thank you for
We're in our
watching.
bag, dude. We're in our bag.
We are in our bag, just like the Denver Nuggets.
That's right.
Who are also in their bag. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out in the chat. Thanks for super chatting. If you could, throw us a quick like before you get out of here tonight. We're off tomorrow. Back Friday. Nuggets are playing the Spurs, I believe.
That's right.
On Friday. On the road again, but we'll be right here. Thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you then.
We all silly like the mayor.